Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. As we do every Wednesday evening, on the second two portions of this program, Rich Levinsky is going to be with us talking about issues in consulting in the marketplace, consulting in the workforce. He's got a great topic this evening. By the way, I want to mention to email me with any thoughts, concerns, objections, constructive criticism, anything you want to do, to Tony@babich.com. That's TONY@BABICH.com. We've been talking about in the last video session about body language, and we're going to continue that this evening. This is one of the most forgotten issues that's come up with candidates interviewing and getting a job since the pandemic, especially because of all of the video interviews that go on. I'm amazed at least 10% of the time I have had employers say, well, the candidate was totally different when we met him than when him or her, when we were on the video conference. So be aware of that. We've gotten so used to video conferences, it's diminished the personal interview. So we're going to talk about body language, and right now we're going to talk about the initial interview. So you need to prepare yourself before you walk into the initial interview. Go to the bathroom, fix your makeup, comb your hair, turn your cell phone off, blow your nose, adjust your tie, make sure everything is in order. When you walk into the waiting room of the hiring authority, if they have one, make sure you're smiling. Keep your eyes focused on the people that you are meeting, especially the hiring authority, the interviewing authority, in a friendly manner, and make sure your eyes are smiling. Staring at them blankly will appear distant and not present in the moment. Smile with your eyes. If you look down or you are submissive, you come across as dismissive or dishonest, you want to look everybody in the eye, including the administrative people that are welcoming you. Be friendly with them and let them know you're anxious, you're glad to be there. When you go in to initiate the handshake, and this has become more important than you would imagine, the handshake is one of the most important, familiar, and traditional ways of a business gesture and makes a very lasting impression. I can't tell you the number of candidates that have literally started out losing an interview because they've given a limp, wet fish type of handshake. This especially applies to women. You've got to give a strong handshake. You develop an immediate and positive connection with someone from touching their hands. Step forward slightly and reach out your hand to the other person with your palm facing just slightly sideways. Make sure that you make full contact with the web of your hand to the other person's hand. Press firmly in the handshake to affirm the gesture as being genuine. Shake with your right hand, and if your left hand is empty, touch the other person's right arm with it gently to reaffirm your sincerity of the gesture. Keep that smile on your face while maintaining the eye and hand contact. Introduce yourself by name if you have never met this person. Follow by saying, it's sure great to be here. I'm so glad. Thank you for seeing me. It's not recommended that you hug people no matter how well you know them or think you know them. Hold the other person's hand a second longer than you normally would. This conveys additional sincerity and quite literally hones the other person's attention when you are exchanging greetings. Honor their personal space by keeping a distance of about 20 inches between the two of you. Don't lose hand contact during the introduction. If your palms are sweaty, for goodness sake, and this happened last week to a candidate of mine, wipe them off right before you meet the person. If you shake with a limp grip or a fish grip, you're perceived as indecisive or weak. So shake with firmness and confidence, but don't give a vice grip type of handshake. Briefly mirror the other person's body gestures and expressions. Mirroring builds the ability to influence other people to think like you think. It also leads them to experience the same emotions that you're experiencing and expressing. You only want to mirror someone long enough to get them to begin to mirror you. Mirroring the other person for about 1 to 2 minutes before gradually changing the body language to proper interviewing posture is advised. Do this in a subtle manner so you don't look like you're mocking or mimicking the other person. The idea is to mimic them or mirror them so that they will follow you and mirror you. As you move into your own professional posture, start being more animated, energetic, passionate, and enthusiastic. This will lead the other person into energy and enthusiasm. Don't mirror beyond just a minute or two. Maintain decorum and control. Don't worry if you don't adopt your amount of enthusiasm. If they don't adopt the amount of your enthusiasm and mirror you completely, that's all right. They will still see it in you and identify with you. The important aspect of all of this handshake issue and mirroring is that you need to practice it. It takes practice to do this kind of thing. And if you practice the right way, it'll work for you. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.